Hey everyone, Leisha here, and welcome to our Take Back the Day webinar. So I'm going to give you a little preview of what I'm going to be chatting with you about this evening, and then I'm going to roll right into it because I'll be honest, my days start early, like 4:15 early, so I turn in pretty early at night too, so that I get plenty of rest and can start my day feeling refreshed and focused and ready to go. So, first things first, I am Leisha, like I already said. I know some of you, but some of you are new faces, and I'm excited to get to share more with you. But I am a wife, a mama to one, almost 2-year-old, and a wellness coach. I'm the founder of the Life Change Tribe, and I'm passionate about helping other women live their best lives and learn to take better care of themselves and their families. I am almost 2 years into my own wellness journey, and it's been such a process. I have learned so many things over that 2-year period, and one of them is what I'm going to be sharing with you this evening. My morning routine that helps me feel more focused, more ready to take on the day, gives me more patience, and honestly is helping me achieve my goals. That is what I want you to take away from this evening. I want you to learn this simple process that I use every single morning, even on the weekends, to help me focus my day and to center myself so that no matter what happens in the day, I feel more capable of taking on whatever comes my way. Because let's be honest, as moms and as women, we never know what our day is going to entail. And if we take some time first thing in the morning to focus on us, that may be the only time that we get all day long. So that is why I want you to start adopting this. So where did this all start for me? Backpedal, almost 2 years now, I had my daughter, and, my story started way before that. So if you want to hear where my journey officially started, I can share that at another point. But after having my daughter, I was really struggling with self-image issues, with low self-esteem. I just didn't feel comfortable in my own skin. So I got started on my fitness journey and was able to make great progress there, and lost almost 40 plus pounds of baby weight and then some. And that was an amazing step, an amazing part of my journey. But I still found myself moving throughout the day, and I was feeling frazzled and overwhelmed and unfocused. And I still found myself feeling guilty that I felt like I needed this me time, and that I wanted that. I still constantly was feeling like, even though I was a brand new mom and I loved being at home with my little one, and I, took so much joy in getting to care for her, I just felt like there had to be something more. So I started doing some research, and I started following along with some different wellness coaches and what they did, and I chatted with my own coach, and she shared about her morning routine and how she structures her day right from the beginning. And what I found was that I really needed to be taking the time to fill my own cup first. And it had to be more than just that physical side of it. I think that that's a place that a lot of us really understand. Yes, I need to be taking care of my fitness, and I need to be working on my nutrition. I need to be checkmarking those boxes, but we don't really think about that physical or that mental and emotional side of things, that we need to be filling our cups that way too. So my wheels started turning, and as I was talking to more and more coaches that I was connected with, I decided that I really needed to just create a routine that focused on me first. And one of the things that I do every morning is I read a little bit of what I call personal development, but it's just a book or something that helps me grow my mindset, my skill set as not just a coach, but as a mom and as a wife. And so, if you didn't see that, my book of choice this month is I Am That Girl. And I read this quote in there that just put it perfectly, so I wanted to share it with you. And it says, when you put your needs last, you're like a plant without water that's worried about providing enough shade for others. Now, when you think about it like that, it doesn't make sense, does it? Obviously, a plant that isn't getting enough water, something that is essential for it, to grow, it's not going to be able to do anything for anyone because it's going to wither and shrivel up and die. And that may seem a little bit extreme, but it's the same for us as women and as moms and as all of the roles that we fill. We have to learn to fill our cups first. We have to give to us first, and we have to get rid of that idea and that feeling and that notion that is selfish. It's not. I have learned through this whole process that when I take better care of me, I take better care of everyone around me, especially my daughter and especially my husband. And that is why I'm so passionate about helping other women, and especially moms, learn to take better care of themselves, because it's in our nature to want to care for everybody else and to want to meet everyone else's needs. And it's in our nature to put our needs last. And I don't want you to hear this wrong. I don't want you to think, oh my gosh, she thinks I should be me all the time. That's not it at all. I'm just saying that you need to take, 10 or so minutes first thing in the morning to focus on filling your cup so that you're not trying to constantly pour and constantly fill others up with an empty cup. So, what is this process that I use? What is my morning routine? And, I want to put a disclaimer out there too. I am not saying that you need to get up at 4:15 in the morning. That's what's working for me right now. I do get up that early, and it's just so I get that quiet time that is completely alone, completely by myself, and it's just for me. But what I do want to encourage you is to get up a little bit earlier each morning so that you do get those 10 or 15 minutes before everybody else in your house is up and needing something. So, simple process that I follow. I get up a little bit earlier. I get up before the rest of my house. And, like I said, that doesn't have to be super, super early. Maybe the rest of your house gets up at 7 a.m., so you're going to get up at 6:45. Whatever that looks like for you, you can do this at any point in the morning. But I do really encourage you to do it first thing, because our goal is to get our mindset right so that we go into the day feeling refreshed and feeling focused and motivated. And, and I honestly, I've done it. I've done it both ways. I've done it where I tried to squeeze it in the nooks and crannies, and I now do it where I start the day before everyone else, and it makes all the difference in the world to do this routine on my own, in the quiet of my home, in those wee morning hours when I'm not worried about anybody else waking up or needing anything. It's just time for me. So get up a little bit earlier and then create your morning routine. So I'm gonna break mine down for you and then share the exact process of what precisely I want you to start incorporating into your day. So for me, I have essentially, 3 components, and I do encourage you to try each 3 of those, but I'll tell you the really important one as we get to it. But the first thing that I do is spend time reading a devotion and spending some time in prayer. And I honestly have been using the First 5 app. I can link that below, but it's just a quick devotional, and it's part of a community of other women too, is one thing that I love about it. I'm reading it alongside other women, and I get input from other women. So that is refreshing to see too, and that's a way that I feel connected to other women who are pursuing a deeper relationship with Christ and who are living out their walk. But I start with those devotions and that prayer time, and it's called First 5. because it's a quick read and a quick way to just focus your mind in the morning. That's step number 1. Step number 2 is I do some journaling, essentially. You can call it what you want, and I'm going to show you what that looks like in a few minutes. But that journaling is the essential part. That's the routine that I want you to take away from this. And it's so simple. 3 things in it too. So the first one, I do daily gratitude. So the things that I'm grateful for today. And the second thing that I do is future gratitude. So things that I am trusting God for, that I am already thanking Him for blessing me with. And then the third thing, I do daily affirmations. And like I said, I'm going to break that down a little bit more in just a minute. But after I do that journaling, then I read my personal development. And you guys, getting this started, this is the book, hands down, that I'm going to recommend to you. I Am That Girl by Alexis Jones talks about why it's important to focus on our needs as women and to really get to know what we need and to not feel guilty for that. So yes, definitely invest in this one. And I will chat with you at the end about gifting someone with a copy of this too. So that's something fun that I will get to do at the end. But so to really break down that journaling piece, though, that I really, really want to share with you, you know, this is my journal right now. It's nothing fancy. It honestly was a freebie from, you know, an event that I went to, and I just, you know, I love office supplies. So I was really tempted to go pick out a pretty journal and a pretty pen that matched. And, you know, I thought, no, Alicia, you need to just get this started now. And so this was a notebook that I had, and I just stuck with it. So this is what it looks like. So I'm going to show you, hopefully you can kind of see that right there. Super, super simple. And I'm going to give you a couple of freebies to help you get started too. But just break it down, super simple. Put the date at the top, and then I write out now. Now are those present, today gratitudes, and I do 3 of them. So 3 of them. And I start out, I am grateful for, and list my 3 things. You know, it may be, I am grateful for a good night's rest. I'm grateful for a new day. I'm grateful for the opportunity to share with other women today. I do those 3 daily gratitudes, ones that are present. And then after I've written those 3, then I write then, you know, nothing super crazy. It's just so simple. And then I do 3 future gratitudes. So things that I'm praying about, that I'm trusting God for. You know, one of the things that we're working on is becoming completely debt-free. So one of those gratitudes may be that we, you know, I'm grateful that we are completely debt-free, that we have paid off our last student loan and that we have paid off our mortgage. That is one of our future goals. So that is a gratitude that I would say for the future. And I do 3 of those, and they can look however you want. It can be gratitude for, you know, a family situation that you are trusting God in. It can be finances, it can be career, it can be anything. Whatever you are trusting God for, those are your 3 future gratitudes. And then once I've gotten those written, then I do my affirmations. I just write it out, and I started with 5 affirmations. And have grown a little bit from there. But this is the part that was, I think, the most uncomfortable for me, because it's essentially that self-talk that you are lifting yourself up, that you are speaking into yourself. And I think, again, as women, we are so comfortable with picking ourselves apart and with, you know, really... with that negative self-talk and not as much of the positive. So the affirmations is really what stretched me, but it's one of the essential components. So with that, I know that that's probably going to be a challenging part for you too. So that's why I wanted to give you this list of affirmations that you can use, and just read through those. And you can pick one. I'd say 3 to 5 is a good place for your affirmations, because you really want to be speaking those positive statements into yourself. Excuse me. But you could do more than that too, and they can be things off of the list that I shared with you, or they can be completely different. Whatever it is that you are needing affirmed in your life, that you are capable, that you're valuable, that you're strong, whatever that looks like for you. And so a lot of mine are business related. I have personal ones. I have some for my relationship with my husband, with my daughter, and those things are really personal, but it makes all of the difference when you start your day with that level of positivity and speaking into yourself rather than downgrading yourself. So again, this take back your day concept, the routine that I want you to walk away with is this 3-piece, journaling, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to say that you need to write it down. I personally enjoy writing it most because I'm a writer more than anything else. I prefer to write rather than speak. But there's a difference in just taking the time to write it out as compared to just thinking it. Because I don't know about you, but when I sit down to think about something, then my mind always wanders. And even just from speaking it too, there's just a difference in writing it out on paper and processing it to read it first, because you're probably going to have to read some of your affirmations to write them down. And then the act of writing them and repeating them to yourself as you are writing them too. So that's the 3-piece step. So what difference has that made for me? Well, it's like I said in the beginning, I was feeling frazzled and overwhelmed. Even though I was in a good place in my fitness and that side of my health, I was feeling just unfocused, and I was still struggling in some places. But now, since I've adopted this routine in the morning, and I really intentionally focus on filling my cup first and making sure that I have the water that I need, or putting on my own oxygen mask first, whatever analogy works best to illustrate that for you, I have so much more focus. I feel less frazzled throughout the day, even when my little one throws or dumps blueberries all over the floor and then steps on them, or whatever happens in the day. I feel so much more peace and ease about that, because I've spent the time just pouring into myself. And it's even extending into my productivity and my energy throughout the day. And I'm finding that I have come to crave that morning routine. I honestly was just talking with my husband about it this evening, and I said, I know, like, it sounds disgusting to say that I get up at 4:15 in the morning. Like, that just, I told him before, we had done 5 o'clock for a long time, and I said, 5 is it. I cannot get up any earlier than that. And now I'm doing 4:15, and I enjoy it. I won't say that I roll out of bed and run to get my day started every day. But I remind myself each morning when that alarm goes off, Leisha, you need that. You need that time, and you enjoy that time. And think about how much better you're going to feel all day long because you took that time. And that to me is worth it. So, if you are struggling, if you're in a place where you're feeling overwhelmed, where you're feeling frazzled, where you're having a really hard time getting this structure into your day, how can you get started on this journey too? Well, I shared how I got started. I started with just the fitness component, and it started after having my daughter. I learned that piece of it. I learned the fitness and the nutrition, and I decided to start sharing that as a coach. But I just have found that with each piece of my journey, I'm so much more passionate about what I get to share with all of you. And so, you know, I got plugged in as a coach, mainly for the fitness and for the confidence boost that gave me first. But now it's a full circle, complete life changer. And that is what I want to extend to you. I take it as my privilege and my responsibility to pay that forward to other women. So there are two main ways that I can help you. One is that you get plugged in as a coach on my team. That is how I can provide you with the highest level of support. I get you plugged into our community. I provide you with all of the resources that I have, and you know, you get one-on-one training with me, and we walk through this journey together. We lock arms with one another, and we set goals that are related not only to our health and fitness, but also to our finances and our futures for our families, and we do this thing together. So that is one way. The second way is to get plugged into my virtual fit club. So that's a 30-day experience where we do the whole mindset shift. We work on the health and fitness goals, and you're working with a community of women who are like-minded, who are focused on making these changes too. And so, you know, that's another great option if you're not quite ready to jump into the commitment of joining the Life Change Tribe. Then I would love to give you just that 30-day preview of what it looks like to pair your fitness and your emotional health, and just let those go hand in hand and walk with them together. So if you are interested in what either of those options look like, then I would love to chat. Just send me a message or email me at Leesha, LEESHA.chamberlain@gmail.com, and I'll get you all of the information and how we can get you plugged into either one of those opportunities. And you know, I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to share with you, and to just tell a little bit more of my story and share my passion with you. You know, it's like I've said all throughout this, this little webinar training, whatever you want to call it, this has completely changed my life. And, you know, not just on a daily basis, but overall too. And that is what I want you to take away too, that I'm not, you know, I am an organized person. I'm a type A personality, but it's not because I have some crazy skill or, something that you don't at all. It's just I've learned these strategies and these routines that have helped me become successful, and that have helped me live a more balanced, happier, healthier, and more fulfilling life. And I want to share that with you. So I will be passing along not only your affirmations, but I also made another journaling freebie for you. So I'll be emailing those your way so that you can have all of that to get started on this, you know, as soon as tomorrow. I would challenge you to do it tomorrow. And I want to know, after you've done it 2-3 days, what a difference it makes in your day. Because I know that these simple tasks, this simple routine will make a difference and will help you take back your day. Again, thank you for joining me. If you have questions or want to go in more depth on anything, or if you are ready to jump into one of the opportunities that I'd mentioned, I'd love to hear from you. Again, just send me a message or email me at leesha.chamberlain@gmail.com. I love you all. Have a good night.